check your balls. What? You check your balls? Oh shit! After I bombed my quantum physics exam and came back to my dorm room, I wanted to do something impulsive and reckless. So I bought Sekiro. Most FromSoft games start with a character customization screen. Your main objective is to go out in the world, find a big stick, upgrade that stick, and kill God with it. For example, in Elden Ring, you can apply 10 buffs on yourself and turn this fire giant into a complete joke. $13,000 damage at once. Sekiro is not that. In Sekiro, your sword is your primary weapon. Yes, you have a lot of prosthetics at your disposal, but they're just tools you use to defuse some specific situations. You can't expect them to work as an end-all be-all substitute for every encounter. Really, the only thing that stands between you and that boss's neck is your skill. And damn, this game gets your ass handed to you every time you refuse to learn it. That's what happened to me on my first playthrough. I was struggling so hard with the very first boss. I didn't know what I was doing. Am I supposed to hit him? He's just blocking my attacks. I think I got a parry. I must have died about 6 times before I started tweaking. After wasting way too much time on this game, I can see what I was doing wrong back then. First off, Sekiro enemies have 2 health bars. This one isn't even that important. You're supposed to pressure the enemy into making the first move, and just as they're about to hit you, parrying hits fills up their posture bar, and when it fills up completely, I wouldn't say that Sekiro is more difficult, if not easier, than any other FromSoft game I've ever played. Maybe it just needs some getting used to. There's boss fights, back to back to back to back to back. Some of them are surrounded by these low-level goons. You can stealth kill the entire squad before having to fight the main guy. It's actually kind of fun once you figure out how to not get detected. It feels really slick and sneaky. And other times, bosses in the overworld just stand there and challenge you to come to them. Compare this anime-looking standoff to a boring-ass fog game. Fuck fog games. Okay, no, I didn't mean that literally. One of these bosses is Sekiro's father, Owl. About halfway through the game, Owl gives him 2 choices. You can either fight for him or betray him. Now, obviously, you're supposed to betray him and fight for the good cause, but there is a goblin in my brain. It induces intrusive and unrealistic thoughts in me, and usually I do an okay job of repressing its voice, but in this scenario, I couldn't even think twice before the goblin just instinctively pressed the wrong option. Sekiro decides to fight for his daddy dearest, which triggers the bad ending of the game. And now you have to fight Emma? You have some personal connection to Sekiro, as opposed to a custom character you made in Dark Souls 3 that you named Poopy Head. And when Sekiro chooses to obey the Iron Code, he realizes that all his life he's been trained to be used as a weapon, and a weapon must kill. This is kind of the first desire that Sekiro has all for himself. You can see that sick, twisted smile on his face after you fucking kill Emma, Ishin, Owl, Kuro. It doesn't matter. All Sekiro wants to do is kill. What a cool ending. And also, Owl gets stabbed in the back, just like he stabbed Sekiro before and expected him to die. Or you can choose to betray Owl and not miss out on about 40% of the game. It's probably the better first choice. After falling through a really deep hole, you land in this valley with ruins of Buddha statues and monkeys. Oh, and the monkeys have guns. At the end of this valley, there's this huge monkey boss, which, again, only turns around when you approach it. I've seen a lot of people running away from this thing in circles. You know that his farts and poops aren't gonna escape the screen and hit you in real life, right? Okay, but for real though, Sekiro bosses demand you to be relentless. You don't have to stop attacking just because they've backed off. And really, what's the worst that could happen? You died. It doesn't matter. You can try again. I'm not gonna tell you that Sekiro is like a dance. seconds. I'm not gonna tell you that Sekiro is like a rhythm game or that hesitation is defeat. Even if those things are true, the two most real pieces of advice I can give you is that 1. You're gonna learn a lot just by watching someone better play, and 2. Go to sleep.
But I'm so close. Just one more try and I think I can get him.
No! Go to sleep and have sweet dreams. The subconscious has a weird way of analyzing and dealing with problems during sleep. Even if you were getting pummeled by a boss, it's completely possible that the next day you wake up, you walk up to it and completely demolish it. Fighting bosses is the most fun part of this game, like most other FromSoft games. And I can't believe that this is the only installment where you're allowed to refight bosses without having to start the game all the way from the beginning.
Fix this shit.
Every problem in this game has a solution. Using the right tools can trivialize encounters. The game even puts some specific bosses in place to make sure you're doing the right thing. That's kind of the whole purpose of Genichiro's fight. It might take a while, but once you realize that there's nothing he can do that you can't predict, he becomes fucking easy. As you progress through the game, you notice that Ashina delves deeper into decay and destruction, and it starts getting darker. Literally. I think it's a little surprising how places where people are rotting in poison pools and Buddhist monks think that the answer to life is to inject children with immortal centipedes can be so beautiful. And unique. They even put in an accurate depiction of London. There's this guy who tries to convince himself that he's a bucket to avoid dealing with his horrible life, just like me. And the head priest of London keeps drinking alcohol, but what he doesn't realize is that it's evil alcohol. I tried to warn him. No. I don't think he listened to me though. When we go back to the field where we first fought Genichiro, he challenges us for one last time. It's fitting that every time we fight this guy, he just keeps getting easier. And once he realizes that he's no match for us, out of sheer desperation to protect his land, he pulls his final move.
Bruh.
He calls his grandpa. I totally expected to get my ass handed to me, but as long as you Mikiri counter the thrust attacks, jump the sweep attacks, and use the umbrella prosthetic to block the slash attacks, it's honestly not that bad. Would you believe me if I told you that I beat him on my 4th try? Nope. Then I'm not even gonna try. Every soundtrack in this game, banger. Do you like watching Sekiro being turned into a bumbling geriatric who uses his sword like a cane and swings like a pussy? Do you like watching Sekiro get a colonoscopy? There's a type of monkey that wields a sword. There's also a type of monkey that wields 2 swords. Look at this monkey trying to reload a gun. You can have your own monkey friend. You can set off a huge infight in a group of monkeys. This game is bananas. I give Sekiro my official Puggo seal of recommendation. And I really did beat Ishin the Sword Saint on my 4th try. Nope, I don't believe it. And when I was playing the game again to make this video, I actually got him on my 2nd try. Nope, you didn't. Believe me, I'm not lying.